We could spend hours talking about the island, but we would barely scratch the surface and still not understand the deep history and politics at play. But we do know the actions by Cuban people against their communist government are some of the most dramatic we've seen now in more than 60 years. ABC Action News reporter Michael Paluska gives us a look at how the past 5 years led us to where we are today.
The Friends of Jose Marti Park here in Ybor City is Cuban territory, and it's been Cuban territory since the 1950s. I can walk right out the gate and I'm in Florida. It's almost symbolic of what the Cubans on the island are facing. So close to freedom, but so far away, and that's what they're fighting for right now. 90 miles south of the waves crashing off the Malecon is Key West, in between treacherous waters where countless Cubans died swimming towards the American dream. But this island nation full of so much beauty, classic cars and amazing people is suffering, and COVID-19 only made it worse. Fed up Cubans hit the streets. Cuban Americans in cities across the United States followed suit. In Tampa, a Cuban stronghold, protesters marched in solidarity to support family members and friends separated by the oppressive communist regime.
I would love to have Cuba become a democracy, but the Cubans have to decide for themselves what they want.
But they can't.
It's difficult. I'm not saying it's impossible.
Victor Rudy DeMaio is the president of the Hillsborough County Democratic Hispanic Caucus. His family left Cuba more than 100 years ago, but since then, he's seen firsthand the divisions left behind.
There's a lot of animosity towards the people who have left Cuba versus the people who have stayed.
Cuba came to life again in 2015 when the Pope made a visit. Then in 2016, former President Barack Obama worked to heal more than 50 years of severed diplomatic relations, attending a baseball game with Raul Castro, both America and Cuba's favorite pastime. The Cuban thaw, as many dubbed it, led to the first cruise ship arriving in the port of Havana a few months later. ABC Action News was there for it all.
And you can hear, here they go.
Music, singing, dancing, cheering, and joy echoed through the streets of Old Havana. Tourists from America bringing money and something else. Maybe, just maybe, a new beginning.
And I saw the happiness in the Cubans' eyes, because now they had their own private businesses. They had restaurants, they had Airbnbs. I mean, the cab drivers were making great money in tips. I mean, the people in Cuba were so happy at that time. And then when Donald Trump got elected, all that went, down the drain.
But in 2017, then President Donald Trump reversed nearly everything the Obama administration put in place. Then COVID hit.
Everything is impossible to happen while we have this gigantic grip on the island that is the embargo.
Documentary filmmaker Mirella Marcinelli makes the argument in her new movie Frenemies that the U.S. embargo is to blame. Playing on October 16th at the Tampa Theater, Martinelli hopes it leads to new discussion and ideas to help the Cuban people. How can you blame the United States for all of their problems if the people don't have any freedom?
And this is a problem. It is a real problem there. And Frenemies doesn't try to hide that problem. On the opposite. Frenemies is a very balanced film because it questions actions of both governments, both the Cuban government and the U.S. government.
Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel is using state-run media to push the embargo narrative. One of my contacts in Havana told me in an encrypted text the embargo argument is an organized disinformation campaign covering up for all the, quote, wrong decisions of the government during COVID. They went on to say a friend who took a picture during a protest was arrested, seeing it as an act of counter-revolution.
Diaz-Canel, the leader of Cuba now, he's a very, very hardliner. He's not going to give up this without a fight. And that's what we have to understand.
Protesters on Cuban soil and American soil also face global superpowers, turning freedom fighters into political pawns and puppets. The question now, can civilian boots on the ground be enough to finally break the endless cycles of oppression and violence?
That's why we have to be very, very cautious of what we do in Cuba, because now we're playing a multinational chess game. It's not just us versus Russia, it's us versus Russia and China. And that's a big difference. China and all these other countries that do trade with Cuba.
In Tampa, Michael Paluska, ABC Action News.